Grand rising, grand afternoon, grand evening, grand rest, wherever you are, whenever you tune in, beloved. Cosmic Familia, welcome back. Multiversal Familia, rather. Working on mentioning the word cosmic a little bit less often. And just know we are surrounded in our light of protection throughout the day. It is at our side and guiding our words and actions to come from a place of love, clearing our energy and vibration completely of negative thoughts and beliefs, releasing fear and self-limiting beliefs, helping us to fully and completely experience love, light, and joy in every moment. And that it is guiding us towards the path for our highest and greatest good. So it is, so it is, so it is. We're going to do a little bit of storytelling and insight with the Rose Oracle to get this day started, or to close the day for some of you whenever you tune in. Alright, we're going to give this a few shuffles, and whatever comes out, comes out. Okay, so insights that we are meant to hear at this time from the Rose Oracle. We're going to do a split first. We have codes of the seeds. The blueprint is within you. Take the next step. So we are being guided to take the next step on our journeys. Perhaps even a new assignment coming in for some of us. It's a bit hazy in here. I do have palo and frankincense burning off to the side. Okay, the blueprint is within you. Let's see what the guidebook has to say about Code of Seeds. What's one baby step you can take? That is the soul inquiry. Seeds come in knowing exactly what to do. Within them they hold the potential of entire forests and rose gardens. Seeds have within them an intelligent timing that's connected with the intelligence of the cosmos. We're all seeds, future forests and gardens waiting to be born. We each hold the codes of a new humanity within us. Change is our natural state. Seeds must be buried in the darkness before they can bloom into the light. Seeds can't even begin to bloom without embracing the fertile void of the winter soil. They can't flower without outgrowing the constraints of the bud. They can't bear fruit without releasing their beauty to the earth and letting go of the very thing about them that captivated others. This card delivers the message that with you, you have all you need to create what you're destined to create, to move through everything that life delivers, and to navigate your way through any terrain. The blueprint has always been seated within. Trust that you have within you the codes for the most glorious rose garden waiting to bud and bloom. Trust those codes. Remember that blueprint. All you need to do now is take the next step, and tomorrow take the next. If you continue taking baby steps each day, on a day not too far from today, you'll look back and discover the most breathtaking garden of roses all around you, and then fruit will follow. Today, just take the next step. You know what to do. That blueprint is encoded within you. And there is a second soul inquiry with this card. What's your soul calling you to do? What is your soul calling you to do? It is beautiful. It's like an artistic interpretation of a womb beneath the earth. And those look to be white roses in that womb with her. It's hard to see, likely due to the lighting more than anything. Let's see, we can move this little candle over this direction and see if it will help. There we go. There we go. Beautiful. So let's look at the significance of this white rose for today's message. The sustenance of the white rose. Oops. Oh my goodness. Purity, innocence, and youthfulness. White roses are often used in weddings to symbolize the purity of the union between the couple as well. Eternal love and loyalty. I already knew about the eternal love part, but I really wanted to see, like I just said, more of the sustenance, like more depth and detail here. In long-term relationships, white roses can represent commitment and undying love. White roses can be given to congratulate someone on a new job, home, or graduation. Peace and remembrance as well, expressing sympathy or remembrance. Trust, respect, and spirituality. Reconciliation. White roses can be given to help resolve family disagreements even. Devotion and love, given to a soulmate as a sincere expression of love and devotion. New beginnings as well, also commonly tied to the meaning of white roses, making them a popular choice for celebrations of new beginnings in romantic occasions. Beautiful. Beautiful. Some of you may even, reconciliation has been in the air a lot lately. Reconciliation, romance, a return to innocence. Some of you may even be wedding planners, or you're planning to become like an event planner of some kind. Reconciling with others. Restoring innocence. Embarking on a new path, a new assignment. Beautiful. Release the petals, transformation, death and rebirth, shedding, and all change. Confirmation of these new beginnings. Now, new beginnings don't necessarily have to translate to a complete and entire overhaul here. I've been feeling guided as it's been placed on my heart to emphasize that. It's not necessarily like tower moment after tower moment when change is necessary, even in some kind of small way. A small gesture of kindness, loyalty, respect, trust, love, devotion. And even offering that same energy to oneself as you pour more of that into your vocations, your hobbies, your interests, your connections. It's as though you're already transforming without realizing it, because you haven't been laser focused on the completion stages. Baby steps, and just taking that next step each day. Transformation, shedding. Beautiful. Like when the rose sheds its petals to reveal the rose hip. Even the rose hip has its uses. Release the petals. Release the petals. 104. The soul inquiry for this card is I'm going to have to light another tea light soon, but we'll definitely make use of this little bit of candlelight we have to illuminate the cards a bit better. What are you clinging to for fear of nothing coming to take its place? There comes a point when we can't go back. In a seemingly fleeting moment, the road that led us here is suddenly impossible to access. There's a sinking knowing that things will never be the same. A death, a birth, a loss, a growth, an ending, a discovery. No matter how hard you try, things are different now. You're different now. The world is different now. What's been seen can't be unseen. There's no going back. Something new beckons you forth. This is a card of change and transformation. Courage is required for the rebirth to happen. Abscission is the shedding of various parts of an organism, such as a plant dropping a leaf, flower, fruit, or seed. The rose hip knows. Ooh, I mentioned the rose hip already. Interesting synchronicity. Okay, so now we're going to touch a bit more on that, beloved multiversal familia. The rose hip knows. The phoenix does too. Ooh, a new form of, well, a new to me and us, perhaps even symbolism for the rose hip and the phoenix that we need to surrender. The rose hip knows, the phoenix does too, that we need to surrender what was to the earth to one day be transformed anew. We can grasp the petals of the past as the changing winds blow, but eventually we'll discover that change is coming, change is near, change is already here. And while what once was is no longer, and what soon will be is not yet, it's time to release your petals to the wind with wild abandon for the chance to begin again, to offer what once was to the wind and let it nourish the seeds within. It's time to surrender so the transformation can happen. Had the rose not released its petals, the rose hip would not have come to be. See what, oh my gosh, the guidebook is confirming what I was just saying about how even the rose hip has its purposes. When we gather the courage to release what was, we're greeted by the fruits of the future. Beautiful messages so far. Yes. I no longer have a Amazon wish list, but I am so grateful for the time that I did. As I am so grateful for these gifts that I'm able to share with others. These beautiful storytelling, teachable moment kind of decks that I'm reaching for so much more. There isn't anything dark or demonic about using cards to do a bit of storytelling. Alright, we're going to do a split. The reunion. Soul recognition, collaboration, partnership, and friendship. And right behind that, the thorn, protection, boundaries, and clear communication. Alright, we're going to go over that one next. But first, interesting, this card is pretty self-explanatory, if I don't say so myself. Soul recognition, collaboration, partnership, and friendship. Becoming a part of our stories, or otherwise confirmation that it already is a part of our stories. our missions, our soul's journey. Okay, give me just a moment here. I need to take the time to grab another tea light. I think I'm just going to start keeping this particular box that I keep my tea lights in on the table. Okay, so yes, we are going to switch out this candle here. Bringing in the new with a new tea light even. And here we go. A new light. Yes. It is also going to assist us in this storytelling because it illuminates the cards perfectly. Oh, look, it's alchemy. We just created change. We sure did. The reunion. A coming together of the like-minded. New friendships. Or a new level of friendship, partnerships, collaborations. The reunion. $108. This current period in history has been spoken of by mystics through the ages. As you choose to incarnate right in the middle of it, you didn't do so alone. We came here in waves and with joint soul missions. You were never meant to walk this life alone. It's time to come back together, to remember that we're not in competition. Rather, we hold the keys for each other. This is the way of the rose, to bloom bravely regardless of what others are doing and not to be threatened when others do this alongside you. The rose doesn't open and close according to who walks by. She reveals her beauty to the world without waver. You're here to do that too. There are people who at a soul level choose to walk alongside you, but for them to find you, you must first let them see you. Reveal yourself to the world. Open your heart and mind to collaboration rather than competition. So many of us, particularly those who identify as women, have learned to be mistrustful of one another, as if we're in competition, which is an illusion, by the way. This card comes with a message of collaborations, partnerships, and friendships, a confirmation that one or more people are entering your life. Or it could be a sign that you're being called to co-create on a project with someone you already know. Oh, now my right eyeball is itching. There has to be some significance to that. Okay. Decide to bloom together. This is a fun rose transmission that we're about to share together here. Give me just 1 second. Oh, the eyeball. The eyeball was itchy. And so we're going to look into the significance of that. Not twitching, itching, right eye itching. Spiritual meaning. Ooh, an itchy right eye is often associated with positive signs like impending good luck, seeing love soon, or experiencing a boost in creativity or positive energy. Yes. As the right side of the body is generally linked to the masculine and outward expression of oneself. But wait, there's more. There's more. Key points about a right eye itch. A positive omen. Many cultures consider an itchy right eye to be a sign of good fortune coming our way. Yes, love and relationships. Some believe it could signify that you are about to encounter a new love interest. For those of you who are single, ready to mingle, or otherwise, since creativity and vision come in, the right side is associated with creativity. An itchy right eye could also mean a surge in inspiration or new perspectives. And then there are some other important considerations. This is AI generated, of course. Thank you, AI. Individual interpretations. This meaning can vary based on your personal beliefs and cultural background, and context matters. Pay attention to other factors like the time of day, your current life situation, and any other sensations you may be experiencing. While there most certainly is synchronicities all over the place with that right eye itching. Okay. Syncing with a message. My internal tuning fork is syncing with the message. Great. And so here we go with the rose transmission of this card. I release any old programming of competition. I open myself up to relationships and collaborations. It's safe for me to trust and co-create. It's safe for me to speak clearly. It's safe for me to set clear boundaries and collaborate. This is our green light, beloveds. To trust, but also discern. I mean, let's be real. Trust and discern, trust and discern, trust and discern. Now let's take a look at the thorn. Protection, boundaries, and clear communication at this time. I said discern, trust and discern, and here we are with the boundaries. We just spoke on boundaries as well. And my lovely, loving bro stars, reminded me recently about another interesting thing about boundaries is that we don't necessarily have to voice them to set them. So that's a message for someone, for sure. And another white rose. And not all the roses in this deck are white. So there was definitely some significance to reading up on the white rose. And of all the different meanings, it's of course going to resonate for everyone, but it's going to mean something a little bit different for everyone as well. Let's read about the thorn. Loving boundaries. I see, I see. The rose is the queen. Oops. Of all flowers. Her soft and often fragrant blooms. I'm going to back this up a little bit. There we go. Her soft and often fragrant blooms take our breath away from near and far. A bridge between heaven and earth, she has the capacity to act as a portal to our true selves and call our soul more fully into our body. She leaves us in awe, allowing us to experience heaven on earth for a very precious moment. But the rose is not all gentle and soft. In fact, most roses are armored with spiky thorns and prickles of various shapes and sizes. These sharp protectors act like knights defending their queen, clearly setting the necessary boundary and conditions for her to do what she was born to do. Message. We too are like the rose. So often we don't get taught how important clear communication and loving boundaries are to our relationships. When we're not clear on our needs, when we don't communicate, when we don't communicate them, we don't take responsibility for them. It's impossible for others to give us what we need. This often results in a breakdown in relationships. Communicating our needs and establishing our boundaries allows not just us to feel safe, but those we're in a relationship with to feel safe too. This card delivers the message of the importance of clear communication, boundaries, and taking responsibility for our needs. To be clear with others, and we must first be clear with ourselves, and then communicate this to our loved ones and the world. And the soul inquiry for this card is, what loving boundaries are you being called to establish? Multiversal, Soul Familia. How are you being called to communicate clearly to those you are in relationships with? That intuitive message of reconciliation also came in early on. I'm feeling guided to speak on this one that was actually behind the other two cards, the reunion and the thorn. So we're being guided to pull consecutively today, back to back. The sacred waters, nourishment, replenishment, health, rest, and self-care. So a balance of both, being more aware of others without taking ourselves out of the equation here, as we are all sacred, holy ones. All of us are sacred. So we have the fruits of our labors coming through from the codes of the seeds, arriving in the analogy of the rose hip and the phoenix. And that really sticks out to me. I mean, I still feel like that message resonating with the rose hip and the phoenix. The transformation, the rebirth, the shedding, with the releasing of the petals as well. From the seed to the rose hip, each of us have a soul's purpose. And these assignments may vary by the stage we are in, by the season we are in. The seed is in a season of its own. The rose hip is in a season of its own. And baby, we are in the season of the sacred waters. I just heard to bring that into a full circle message. Every season, every stage requires this nourishment and replenishment. So to not just put into something, but to also follow up on it. And that would be, in this particular message, the replenishment. The follow-up. As well as the rest. The seed. And this is where this message is able to come full circle. The seed is dormant. The seed is embracing that darkness, the winter. And now, with blurred vision, those white roses resemble snowflakes. If you look at it from a distance, it does. It resembles snowflakes. And it also resembles stars. We're all stars now. in the light show. Everything, even the sacred waters, are light. We are light. We are sacred. We are holy. We are God. We are sovereign. We are free. We are joy. We are the thorns. And interestingly enough, since we have the thorns, the rose hip, and the seed, I see yet another collaboration of parts and purposes here coming together through this follow-up with an eye-level perspective that every part is the sum of the whole. Every part is a sum of the holy, the sacred waters. Beautiful. This is the only card the only card with this such significant amount of blue in it. So there is some significance to that aquamarine blue. But we're not going to go over that at this time. We are going to, however, go over the sacred waters to bring this message to a close. $120. And we're going to make that our angel number for this message, 120. The sacred waters. What is your body yearning for? The sacred waters are the life-giving mother of us all. Healing waters replenish us and give us life. We're made up of her. Like the rose, we need her waters to survive and thrive. We must drop our roots deep to receive the nourishment we so deeply need, to appreciate, protect, and honor the very thing that we take for granted. The roots, beloveds. The roots. Now I'm getting something about healing the mother wound and connecting more deeply with your ancestors, passed over loved ones, as they are all part of the rose as well. They are all a part of the sacred waters. They are your other selves. dropping our roots deep to receive the nourishment we so deeply need. You can root yourself right where you are and become more grounded, more deeply connected with your guides. To appreciate, protect, and honor the very thing that we take for granted. The Mother of the Sacred Waters delivers the message to slow down and take care of yourself, particularly your body. To prioritize your well-being and live in a way that's sustainable. She reminds us to replenish and nourish ourselves and take care of our health all the time, not just when we feel unbalanced. Being called to nourish and replenish ourselves before we become brittle and parched. Mother of the Sacred Waters wants you to know that there's nothing more important in your life than the care of your own sacred vessel of a body, and the earth is an extension of that. She wants you to treat yourself with tender care, to cherish your body and hers, to fill your well until it spills over, and once it does, to find a way to give back from this place of plenty, to give your body what it's yearning for most before it turns into an urgent need. So ground yourself in some level of nourishment and replenishment. So that when it's time to turn the soil, we're already over here working our light. You see the sparkles coming off the seed and rising up like little teeny tiny stars. All those little tiny specks are stars, or also sparkles. Either way, however you want to analyze it at any given time. They're both. It's all light. Every bit of it. Sacred. And so are you. From seed to root to thorn to the rose hip, all in collaboration. Always sacred and never alone. And that is our message for this session. Thank you so very much, beloved Cosmic Familia, for tuning in. You are loved and appreciated so very much. So very much. You are so sacred, holy, loved, beloved. Be loved. Brightest blessings.